Welcome to the ARM What Is Program series. In each episode, we explore a tech topic to give you insight and perspective into some of today's hottest design trends. I'm Brian Fuller, Editor-in-Chief at ARM, and today we're going to find out what is a software-defined vehicle. And to help us with that, I want to introduce Robert Day, Director of Automotive Partnerships for North America with ARM. When he's not helping us understand what is a software-defined vehicle, he likes to spend his pandemic life in the kitchen, experimenting with new flavors for his ever-broadening range of culinary creations. So let's get started. Robert, what exactly is a software-defined vehicle?
Hello, Brian. So traditionally, the software in a vehicle has been very closely tied to the hardware module or electronic control unit or ECU that's doing a very specific function in the car. The software typically does not evolve much through the lifetime of the vehicle, and any necessary updates involve a trip to the dealership. For the software-defined vehicle, the functions in the car are now being defined by software rather than specific hardware modules, rather like the applications that we run on our smartphones or computers. This means these functions can evolve and improve through the lifetime of the vehicle, with the possibility to even add new functions through software. Some of the move to software-defined is to meet the needs of our generation's technology users who expect that software will be upgraded over the lifetime of the hardware it runs on, but will also make it easier for the automakers themselves to manage the feature capabilities of a vehicle, upsell features to existing customers, and then have the same features and functions over their entire vehicle range.
Fascinating. So, Robert, where are we in terms of the evolution of software-defined vehicle technologies?
So we're kind of really at the beginning. We're starting to see some software-defined functions coming into more of the comfort functions of our vehicles, like the infotainment or navigation systems. And there's now a shift to having different domains in a vehicle, having their capabilities defined more by software. So think things like autonomous drive functions or electric vehicle management functions. The next big step is where those different software functions will actually coexist on a large central computer, rather like the vehicle's brain. Again, the analogy with our computers and smartphones that have the performance to run multiple applications simultaneously.
Now, is this something that's easy to implement from a technology standpoint, or are there some tricks to it?
Yeah, there's always tricks to it, Brian. But the hardware and the software methodologies, so they exist today to actually deploy software-defined functions. Think about all the applications that we run in the cloud, for example. Those software functions are spun up when we need them, and the same server can be running many different applications simultaneously for different users. Where it gets tricky, though, is that the car is not the cloud and has requirements for things like safety, real-time response that the cloud typically doesn't worry about. So a cloud-native development environment is actually a good starting point for developing and deploying software functions, but it needs to understand the environment and the requirements that the vehicle functions have. That's why the industry is coming together with some new initiatives to make this possible across the automotive value chain. The SOFI initiative that was launched last year is going to take cloud-native standards and add the safety and real-time functionality to enable deployment from the cloud to the vehicle. And there's a newly launched SDV project under the Eclipse Foundation, which will build on that to provide a full open source software-defined vehicle stack.
So lots going on there. Robert, how do you see software-defined vehicle technology evolving in the next, say, 2 to 3 years?
So I think the vehicle architecture itself is going to evolve, and with that, so will the software-defined technology. So we'll see a shift from application-specific domains to more of a zonal architecture, where each different area of vehicle will have a zonal controller that will communicate to the central computer that will run these software-defined functions. We'll see much more frequent updates and upgrades to these software functions, and these will be done over the air and not require regular visits to the dealer. And then these upgrades will introduce more intelligence to the vehicle, better safety through increased ADAS and autonomous functions, and better efficiency through engine management upgrades and the next wave of EV management.
Well, thanks, Robert. I'm looking forward to a world in which cars are much more intelligent, safe, and efficient. Now, check out all our other What Is episodes here and be sure to subscribe to this channel because we'll be adding more as the year progresses. Thanks for listening.